And, well, here we go. So the map is going to be probably Arabia, I would have to guess at this point. Yes, it is Arabia. And looking at the civilizations, we have Han as river plantation, the VIK is playing Mayan, Lele Mongols, and we seem to be having a proper mirror with Warrior taking Mayan from the VIK team as the first one, then Winchester is Han, and Lavihet is taking Mongols. Alright, so let's have a look around the map here for the start. The blue player is having kinda okay map it seems, because gold is very close to his main TC, and he's also having double stone mine, which is definitely going to help him. Even though it would be kinda better for potentially the Mayan player or Mongol, because obviously those are the ones going to be needing quite a lot of stone for their castles, but doesn't hurt anyway, and he already knows where both of the boars are at the very bottom here. We are having a bit of a pause, which will buy us some extra time to actually look around here. So we're just going to switch off the fog of war, and we see that he's having some extra gold at the right side, which is very nice indeed for him, this one also. So he definitely won't be disappointed about this map spawn, I would guess, at this point. Very nice hunt here, extra gold at the forefront also, and quite a lot of sheep overall. Yep, right next to his base, so pretty nice placement for the river plantation at this point. Just gonna have a very quick look into the game room. Maybe something is happening or not. I'm hoping not. Now it's just going to be normal pause, so no problem whatsoever. And well, we're just going to continue with the next players then. The next from Klrz is going to be VIK, for example, who is playing the pocket here as Mayan player. Yes, Mayan, that's not really half bad. That's very nice placement for him. And looking at the scouting, seems to be having pretty decent tree line on the right side, and also nicely positioned stone. I have to say that it's going to be kind of easier to defend if he's under some kind of, I don't know, heavy attack in the classical, in the feudal age. He maybe wants to place some kind of, I don't know, tower here, archers and whatnot. So on the hill it will be very nice for the archers, but otherwise I don't really think he will be under all that much attack, being pocket and all. Gold, very nice indeed, because it's next to the wall here, so very easily protectable for him, and definitely one reason why he should be having easier advancing into the castle age. And looking somewhere else, you just seen those berries, and he's having those double bars at the back as well, with some extra gold, not bad either, and with the hunt as well. So is he going to see either of those boars with the sheep? He could be seeing the one in the darkness here. He's kinda seeming to be aiming right there. So with a bit of luck, he will be seeing exactly that. And let's have a look somewhere else on the map then. What is also interesting to see is that he will be having kinda easier time walling himself in. It's not really a kind of bad wall. This is easy wall. This also with the cliff. And well, on the left, yeah, that's kind of open space here. So yeah, let's just scratch this wall. I was just seeing the right side, and the left side is actually pretty open, so he will be needing a bit of defense from his teammate Lele. At this point, I'm not exactly sure, Europe. I would be maybe guessing that the shortcut for berserkers in Cyrillics, in Azbuka, it's going to be something like those VIK or whatever, not exactly sure at this point, but I would guess it's going to be something with that. Or maybe it's berserkers like the special unit of Vikings, and then you have attack of Vikings, like VIK, maybe. Could be, not exactly sure at this point, but maybe somebody in the chat will know, who knows. And well, still waiting for the pause to actually end. All the players are still in the game, so we shouldn't be having any kind of drop or whatever. So I guess let's just have a look around then. Extra gold for him right after this tree line. It's not really safe all that much, but I wouldn't really call it unsafe either, as it's reasonably close to his ally who should be helping him with defense, and really it's not all that away from him himself, so I don't really think he should be worrying about that all that much. And if he does worry about it, he's just going to put the wall here and he's pretty much safe. So let's put on the fog of war yet again and switch into the next player from Klrz. That's going to be the last one, Lele. Yeah, of course, Europe. You never know how is it created, those clans and clan names and whatnot could be. And yep, this is one of those spawn that you are not exactly happy about, and this is one of the extreme ones, I would say, as he's really kind of plastered next to the wall of the map, which is not ideal because you literally have nowhere to go back to, which is pretty dangerous if you are very open in the forefront so far. And we are back into the game as everything is moving yet again. Should be reasonably defensible for him. Kind of wall here should be easy for him here as well. Okay, so it seems like that even though this spawn is not really ideal for him overall, it seems to be that he won't be really having any kind of problems because of that. Quite a lot of mines overall. 1 gold, 2nd gold, nice double stone, and this gold is as safe as it goes. Even though as safe as it goes, I would kind of think that some raiding with crossbowmen will be quite successful here, because obviously that's just 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6, so that's definitely in range. So he will definitely have to be careful about this tree line and such. Otherwise, the boar is on the right side. Does he know about it? No, he doesn't. But he probably does know about the left one. No, he doesn't either. Okay, so he doesn't see either of the boars. They are unfortunately for him in the darkness. Ah, but right now he goes. Here we go. Okay, representation losing hotkeys from the issues that were with Wobbly earlier today. He was switching into Wobbly China, so that was the long pause there. And right now, that's actually a steal of the boar. So that's very nice from Warrior. And yeah, that was a similar color to the orange. But unfortunately for orange, he did not discover that. And he's definitely going to lose this because there's no line of sight for him. Even though right now he could see it. But I kinda guess that he's, yeah, right now looking at the scout here. And let's see if he will maybe catch him. Yeah, right now he sees the boar. So potentially he's aiming there. Did he see that? Because he definitely didn't see the steal itself, but he might have noticed that the boar is running away. And right now, going there, yeah, he's definitely attempting to actually stop the steal. But I kind of think it's way too late because he's already almost home. But still some ways to go. So if Orange cuts to the right here around the stone, he could be able to stop it. But yeah, he didn't. He didn't, and I'm at this point thinking that this should be a successful steal. But let's not hike up the pants before the shallows. Okay, this could be it. This could be it. Let's see about that. Very good attempt indeed. Come on, boar. Can you actually run back? Wow, this is so close. The boar really seemed quite intent to actually following the eagle warrior, and even though this was definitely pretty great attempt from Orange, is he going to steal back? Yeah, he definitely will. Okay, so the aggro is engaged, and yep, right now he's stealing it back, and even though Yellow saw that, he retreated back because he's seen that he couldn't really make that happen with this villager, but he is going to make an attempt with his eagle warrior. So let's see about that, if he will succeed himself. This is definitely quite a lot of action at the very start of the game, where something else is not really happening all that much, and well, it's very close indeed. And let's see if he can make that happen right now, Yellow, if he can stop the steal and make a 1-up on his opponent. So far, it seems to be basically 1v1, and is Orange already having troubles because of that? Yeah, he kinda is, because he has finished the first boar. And he's almost out of sheep, so he is just right now forced into the mill. And is he going to finish with the steal of the boar here? He's right now just playing it very carefully, stopping with the scout every moment so that he doesn't lose the aggro, and he should stop about now. Needs to be careful because this eagle scout is very close indeed. And right now here we go with the action, and that was unfortunate. We could have seen that Yellow was actually having quite a ton of luck, because Orange was doing it exactly right in his home base, in Yellow's base, and that definitely wasn't working for him. But right now, yeah, it worked right on the first attempt, and okay, so it seems like that VIX will be having the 1-up in the board department. The VIK is actually trying to help him, so maybe he will be trying to steal it right back, so let's see about that. But right now I'm kind of thinking that Yellow should be well prepared, and he will be probably sending villagers right on top of it and trying to lure it back into his TC as soon as he can. Okay, so yeah, it seems like the green is still not giving up though, whereas Yellow is building some extra barracks here, so going to be a bit of a drush. No. I want yellow player. Yellow player, and boar is coming back, and yeah, we can already see the villager here, and that's pretty much going to be it. And the green will be quite happy right now with potentially killing the eagle scout rather Eagle Warrior, and yep, the board is as safe as it could be. So pretty good job on that, and that was a lot of action at the very start. And let's have a quick look at the other players at this point when we are starting to advance into the feudal age. Red is having pretty decent base as well. Yeah, this is pretty nice for him. Very easily defensible, and he's right now trying to lure the deer in so that he doesn't have to waste resources on the mill. He has already succeeded with some before, obviously. Gold, very nice. Stone as well, double. And does he have some extra gold somewhere? Oh yeah, he does. Right next to the corner, and that's also pretty safe indeed, so no problem for him whatsoever. I'm not exactly sure who picked this map, but since Berserkers are actually the first and should be picking the whole map first, it should be theirs. But at the same time, I remember the Russians actually picking islands or whatnot quite often. So I'm not really sure at this point. Really not sure. But I do remember Berserkers playing on islands pretty often, so my personal guess is that it's for Killers. So purple base here, and we seen some kind of drush somewhere. I don't really see different colored patches anywhere on the map. You just see a stable from purple who has just advanced into the feudal age, so that's definitely going to be scout cavalry raiding. Unfortunately for him, blue is well aware at this point, even though he loses the scout, so that's definitely help for the purple player. And how's it looking here? Something interesting, well, just a bit of palisade walls for Manchester actually to gain some extra line of sight, which is a pretty clever idea, so that he knows where potentially his opponent is moving with his army or what the army is. So that's barracks for blue. He's advancing slightly slower. Oh no, he actually already is in the next age, and the VIK is having 25 release, as is VIK Lobby Head, so yeah, they are definitely those that are advancing as the last into the feudal age, and they will be the ones booming into the castle age here, as they are pockets and Mongol and Mayan. Okay, why not? Bit of a red scout in here, not much interesting. Orange is coming back with his scout, trying to probably defend, and here we see that the Mayan VIK warrior is already switching into double archery range, so it's going to be a bit of an archery raiding, which is of course going to be quite nice for the Mayan player. Yeah, a bit of a showtime of the gold. Not exactly sure what this wall was all about. It was probably just a different train of thought here. But this one in the middle is going to suffice at this point, I think. And well, we see some radiant here already. Probably purple will be already in. And yep, here we see those 3 scout cavalry guys just coming in, and he is probably attempting to raid the pocket, but pocket is already prepared quite nicely, defending against this raiding. But right now he has just deleted the wall so that he can get some extra release in, and oh well, purple, this is your window of opportunity. Come on, go for it. And yep, he does. And right now, green will have to actually rebuild pretty soon. If he doesn't... Oh yeah, he didn't. Oh, come on. That's tough luck. That's tough luck. Exactly at the moment where he thought that he's reasonably safe to go for some better walling and get some extra villages on the stone. He's pretty heavily raided, and he's already losing 2 villages at the stone. And that's pretty crucial for a Mayan, obviously, as he won't be able to build his castle as soon as he would have hoped, and he's already advancing as his levy head, and okay, yep, this is pretty bad indeed for the Klrz team, and he is also right now joined by River Plantation, or rather joined. This is his enemy, so he's not really all that much joined, but Red is here, so double Vicks with one Klrz helped with the villages from green here, but still it means that they are not gathering stone, and I'm going to switch into Twig how much actually it cost him time, and quite a lot, because he's almost in the castle age, and he doesn't have the stone whatsoever. He was, I think, aiming for the castle here, but with this problem, he might be switching into some kind of boom in TCs, so let's see about that. But yeah, pretty good job, and very unlucky for the green player Twig. Looking somewhere else on the map, we can see that yellow has already amassed a decent amount of archers, so he's going for some raiding himself. And is that going to be somehow successful? At this point I wouldn't really think so, even though yellow is already aware that the wall is quite nicely in place, and orange is also having stables, so a bit of a raiding with the scout cavalry as well. But Yeah, I don't really see a way through, but this is really dangerous, and that's exactly what I was pointing out at the very start, that this gold will be in range of crossbowmen about here. They can definitely get there and shoot at about here, and this tree line is not safe at all. So let's switch into Warrior and his point of view, and Fog of War, and he doesn't know about it. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't know about it, and quite fortunately for Lele, but will he notice? Will he make an attempt to go around? Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't. He maybe thinks that there's a lot of wood there, but yeah, there obviously isn't. And he will have to have some kind of luck somewhere else, which is not going to be easy because Orange is continuing with the walling and also preparing some extra stone walling to make up for the potential weakness of his green wall. Well, green has to actually hurry up at this point if he doesn't want to actually allow those archers to come in, even though they are still quite away and he should be making it in time. Let's see about that. The stone is already protected by a very nicely placed wall. Yep, or rather tower, sorry about that. And quite a lot of release at this point. I'm switching into VIK. And do we see some town center from him? Yeah, one town center. Do we see it second somewhere? Yep, we do. Okay, so that's a 3TC boom and also quite a lot of stone. So he is hoping that he can get up some kind of castle pretty soon indeed. Purple is at this point having some kind of skirmish. Well, that was not really much of it, because that was just a blue scout together with potentially 1-2 wheelies or whatever. This was maybe some kind of Isha or whatnot, not exactly sure. But the walling from purple player is pretty complete at this point. And, well, is this complete enough? Because he has let some kind of scout cavalry here through. And they are fighting a pretty bad battle against those pikemen, and they need to retreat at this point. Otherwise, they're just gonna get slaughtered, and they are almost dead. So that should be easier defensible for potentially the release on the gold. And well, this one guy is the only one in threat, but not anymore, as he has finished his work. And yep, this is exactly what's going to happen when the pikeman, the spearman, catches up with the horses. So that's pretty much it. The red player is already having 3TC boom going, so that's going to be quite nice indeed for her. And otherwise, do we see something interesting? Oh yeah, switching to scouts, or rather knights, from exactly La Vihette, and she is trying to put the Mayan player out of the stone. That's a pretty good idea, even though already enough for the castle, so that's kinda a bit too late, but still, yeah, every raiding counts. So how's it looking with the yellow player? And where are his archers? I'm not seeing them. So are they already dead? Or went... Oh, they probably just went home. It seems like they went all the way home. And right now they will be just waiting for potentially some upgrades. Or something else, I'm not exactly sure what. But it seems like that he has basically given up on the raiding, which is slightly curious, considering that they are being raided themselves. And he's just leaving it up to La Vihette at this point. But she won't be having any kind of luck finding some easy way through, because obviously those walls are literally from top to bottom. That's not going to be anything that La Vihette could do anything about. So a lot of archers from blue as well. It seems like the Hunt player is doing a similar thing. Actually, the warrior, the Mayan player at this point, and we see some advance into the castle age from exactly the Mayan. And well, does he have enough stone? Yes, he does. For the extra TCs. He's also quite interestingly walled, to be honest, as he doesn't really have all that much room in his home base, so he will be having to probably export his gold gathering to about here. And well, I did see some orange guys. Ah, here they are. They were kind of hidden between the buildings, and they will be having to retreat back home because he's going to be raided pretty soon. And the villager is coming there as well, and yeah, that's unlucky. But he does have flume, so he should be fine. And right now crossbowmen, so that's pretty strong army, and could be quite surprising for his opponent. Already some defense, quite nicely placed to actually defend against the potential problem with the archers. And here we see Siege Workshop right at the doorstep, and Orange is obviously quite unaware. Let's switch into Lele, Fog of War, and yep, he doesn't have any kind of idea what's happening, and he is moving somewhere outside with his own knights, so he definitely will be pretty nastily surprised by his opponents pretty soon, or will he? Yellow is kinda giving up his position at this point, even though he's not giving up what's happening here, so it's just some archers right now. He could maybe spy what's happening there, but Orange should be knowing what's happening, and he should be retreating back. Right now, though, he isn't. He's still very interested in the attack, but does he have some way through? I don't really think so. maybe around this TC, but still that would be quite a lot of extra damage for him. But at the same time, we have to say that that's quite a lot of army from him at this point. Looking at the minimap, something is brewing at the very bottom of orange and purple. So let's switch there because orange is switching sides here. And yep, that's the first attack with a bit of nature wrath on the purple and the red knights, and let's see how this is going to develop, because River Plantation is using just crossbowmen with cavalry archers, but that could be enough with proper micro and the help of those animals here. So yeah, that's a proper engagement right there, and between those two TCs, that's not exactly ideal spot for Winchester to actually battle at, obviously, because that's quite a lot of extra damage and something that, yep, blue will be very happy about, but he won't be happy about the fact that 1, 2, 3, oh well, that's like at least 10 farms not gathering food, and at this stage of the game, that's, yeah, pretty bad and pretty crucial. And some extra idle pikemen, come on, they could be quite useful at this point, but still, the Mangonel is gone, which is important at this stage. Let's have a look somewhere else, where green, a player with the Mayans, is trying to raid his pocket opponent. Well, he's not really successful at all at this point. He hasn't killed anything, if I see this correctly. And well, let's see how the battle at the top will go. Because at the bottom it didn't really go all that strongly for VIKs, but the top could be quite different case. Because, yeah, there's absolutely no help for the orange player, and he was with his units somewhere else altogether. Not exactly sure where. Oh, here. He's actually attempting to raid purple himself, and well, he could be quite successful because there's not much defense from the berserkers. And he could, oh well, this could be quite costly for the purple player at this point, especially on his economy overall. And he's not having like a lot of villies, just 57. So let's finish with this. I'm just going to quickly switch into yellow once we see where this is heading. Into safe position, and yeah, this is VIK attempting to help, and yeah, this is definitely good enough help, so this is decided. So let's switch back to the top, where yellow is doing a definitely good job, because he has already broken through the walls here, and he is attempting to take down town center, but can he take down this Mangonel? Yes, it's going to be a bit of proper micro, and yeah, pretty good shot. And orange is already trying to amass a bit of an army in his home base so that he can actually defend against that, and well, that might not be enough because of those obvious monks here from yellow, which is a pretty decent idea, and a green player at VIK is not having enough archers, so he will have to wait for some extra help. But I kinda thinking that just waiting for orange to have enough knight here, and that's pretty much going to be the moment when he attacks. And looking at the bottom side, we also see that simultaneously Winchester is attacking at the very bottom against the blue player and having similar kind of success as Warrior is having at the very top, even though at this point this is going to be pretty much it, as those cavalry archers are a pretty good idea against those Mangonels, but yeah. You can see that purple is right now joined by red, and this is a pretty strong attack at this point, and a very strong double and tough one to deal with for River Plantation. At this point, the green will be having kind of hard time deciding where he actually wants to help, because both of his allies are under attack, with Lele not really doing all that well, even though he's just playing 1v1, and okay, this is going to be conversion. Oh yeah, this is going to be pretty bad, and even though orange is right now retreating back with some extra knights, those two conversions could be exactly what turns the battle around. Let's see about that. He's trying to run to the hill to have some higher attack. One more, yep, and he's at the top hill, and this should be a pretty good battle for him at this point, especially with the extra wolf here, and those monks. Yeah, one stolen. Oh yeah, this is definitely very, very well played indeed by a warrior, because he has successfully limited the number of those knights that could attack the crossbowmen at once, and you can see that almost all of them survived. And yeah, orange is right now without any army whatsoever, and this is just going to be basically doors open to the orange base. At the bottom we see that blue has been able to defend himself so far, even though he has lost quite a lot of farms here, obviously, and his economy is kinda not going all that well. He's having the least amount of VDs, 68, so he definitely will need some extra help. And well, is that going to be that from green? At this point I don't really think that green is attempting to help his ally at the south. He's maybe much more interested about the help at the north. And yep, you can see that VIK is also switching from the bottom to the top, so that's definitely going to be a pretty strong attack indeed. And oh yeah, this is pretty tough situation for Klrz at this point, because this is a double that they are not counting with at all. And Orange is having no army whatsoever, like absolutely whatsoever. He's just building from one stable, or rather two stables, potentially one archery range, or rather, goddammit, siege workshop and one barracks. That's definitely not working at this point. With a bit of extra siege from yellow, this could actually work out pretty nicely. Some potential cap trams or whatever could be a pretty decent idea at this point, as they would be helping, but you also need to get rid of those archers, and that's going to be the work for this Mongol now pretty soon. Looking at the minimap, I don't really see any action in VIK space, so that's not really any raiding from their opponents or whatever, and castle is being dropped to actually basically secure the position here. That is already pretty secure for the berserkers, but still, the castle is basically going to be unassailable by their opponents, and one more nail in the coffin of the Klrz team at this point. So green is finally engaged in the defense of the top player of the Lale orange guy, and he's advancing into Imperial Age as well, and he will be probably going for some extra upgrades like braces, ballistics also pretty soon, yep. And the elite plume archers could be something that could still save the game for them, because they are pretty useful indeed overall. But looking how Lavihet is advancing into Imperial Age, that means Cavaliers pretty soon. Let's switch into her. Yeah, she will be having enough for Cavaliers pretty soon. Not for Paladins, that's going to be way down the line, but still Cavaliers are going to be quite enough exactly against the army that Lale is having at this point. Looking at the economy, we are having Lavihet 117, definitely the most, then Winchester 102 and Warrior 84. Best from Klrz is the VIK 99. 79 for Lale and 83 from River Plantation, so definitely quite a huge advantage at this point for VIKs, so they are much more ready for the post-Imperial battle. So let's see if Klrz can do something about that, because otherwise they might be finding themselves in kind of a pickle. The castle is dropped, and looking somewhere else, it seems like not much is really happening here by the purple player. It seems like that he is just trying to make sure that he is secured and protected against some kind of raiding. And in the middle we see a bit of an unfortunate unfortunate time for, I was going to say for Twig, but it was unfortunate for Lavihet, because she was trying to actually move quite a lot of willies and build some forward base somewhere. But yeah, that's not going to happen, because it was given up by this lucky raid by green plumed archers, and yep, right now they have to run for their lives against, or rather from, those knights. At the bottom we see that River Plantation will be attempting some kind of raiding, which is basically what he can, the only thing that he can do at this point, as he doesn't seem to be having enough of a push against his opponent, even though it seems like a pretty decent battlefield and a lot of mangonels dead here. And can he do something about all this? Well, I'm not really thinking so, because this was pretty clever from purple, as he was maybe expecting that his opponent with the cavalry archers will be attempting a bit of raiding, which he literally can't at this point. And well, let's see how's it looking at the top then. Cartography from red, and yeah, just to make sure that they see what their allies are seeing. And orange has been able to build a castle, which could be a pretty huge help at this point, because obviously with good walling, yeah, he needs to be careful about this tree, and right now it's through, so he needs to finish the walls here. Careful, careful about this wood gathering at the battlefield. But he's well in range of the castle, and he will be able to take it down. If he isn't careful though, he's going to lose it, because obviously those mangonels are right in there. They are not having any kind of opposition here, and well, this is a pretty decent switch from warrior into eagle warriors, and they are right now at the exactly right moment on the mangonel and those archers here as well. So let's see if they can actually push it through. They are right now getting kind of leveled, even though there are still quite a lot of them, and with some extra support from TC fire, which is not coming in, because Lale hasn't actually garrisoned anything yet, which is kind of a shame at this point, because it could be extra damage that's exactly needed for those green guys, and well, they are kind of getting killed. Yeah, so that means that green is having no army whatsoever in orange's base, and it's yet again going to be a very decent battle for the Mongolian player together with the Mayan from VIK, and this is a pretty decisive and pretty strong push, because once the castle is down, I'm kind of thinking that orange is out of echo, as he won't be having anything close by that he could very easily get food from, as those farms won't be really available. And even though he has finished second castle, He's been rated on the gold, and yeah, this game is for him not going all that well. Right now, also Imperial Age from him, he could probably finish, but he's already broken through, and yeah, game is not gonna go all that well for him anymore. Blue is still attempting to fight some way through, and potentially raid his opponents, which he is not succeeding at all. As you can see that he's still raiding just outside the gates, and well, Lavihat is trying to build a castle in the middle so that she has slightly better position of controlling the map and potentially helping on either the top side or the bottom side. The bottom side is slightly developing into potential attack on the river plantation because he's having basically his whole pop attempting to raid something. Yeah, here one, and the bigger army is here. Even though it's returning home, I'm kinda thinking it's not going to be enough, especially against all this, and when Winchester is upgrading into Cavaliers pretty soon. So nice army, but probably not all that successful against his opponents. And well, River Plantation will be hoping to defend with the monks. Yeah, if it wasn't for those Magunoids, it could be a decent idea, but with them, I'm not exactly sure it's going to work as well as he would have hoped. So Orange base is basically broken through, and it's, yeah, right now being assaulted by Berserkers quite strongly, basically being kept by them overall. And yep, here we see the GG's because Lele is basically out of the game, even though he is still having a PC here, or rather castle. The second one has already been taken down, and the much more interesting problem is that he's basically out of echo with just a few villagers here, and yep, that's not going to be enough to actually turn this game around. Yeah, just 34 villies, that's probably not going to cut it in the late Imperial. Green is doing a pretty good job helping him though. And they seem to be still thinking that they can maybe salvage something out of it, because right now Orange is switching from the GG stance into yet another castle. And maybe he's going to be slugged by someone. I'm just going to switch into him if he's been sent some resources by his allies, but I'm not really seeing how they can basically turn this 2 versus 3 around. Heroes, but they are definitely not giving up. Also looking at the bottom, oh well, this is a strong push. This is a pretty strong push, and unfortunately for River Plantation, he is having just cavalry archers, and yep, that's not a good unit against all those, what is it, siege ram already, siege rams and the cavaliers here, and yep, that's definitely not going to cut it, and this DC will most probably come down as well. Pretty strong double at this point from those Mangudais with the cavaliers, and once Lavihat joins in the battle as well, this is probably going to be it for the army here. But River Plantation is not giving up at all, as he's attempting to switch into the barracks, and as you can see, the pikeman, that could be some kind of idea. And yeah, here we see that he recognizes that's not going to be good enough, and he is resigning, and soon will follow his allies, the VIK and Lele as well, because yep, Lele's army is basically leveled, and VIK has already lost the castle. That was basically the main point of defense here, and that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it at this point, and I'm kind of thinking that it was cut short, the game, so I'm just going to go into the achievements real quick to see how it went for everybody. If Labi had been the MVP, well, she was in the pocket and wasn't really attacked, so I would kind of agree with that statement, but I have to say that Warrior played this really well indeed. Basically owned Lele in 1v1, and the boar steal at the very beginning definitely helped in that. That was a quite interesting Dark Age play. Not really much of a sling here. It was from Winchester into Lavihat. Into the pocket, okay. It's a bit unexpected, maybe. Alright, GG then.